So hi, good morning, everyone. So Sir Emmanuel and I, can you hear me? We'll be here with you. Can you hear me, guys?
Yes, Miss Jen, we can hear you.
Damba, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Miss Jen.
Okay, yeah. So we have 11 students on site here. So, okay. And we have online students too. So, okay, today we have class, we have one of the best alumni that we have, yeah. Damba, Miss Damba, and here is Sir M.
Hello, Damba.
So Damba, hello, Sir M. We'll share about the brainstorming, yeah, Damba, yeah. Yeah. So yeah, please, you can tell about yourself a little bit, yeah, Damba, yeah.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead, Miss Damba.
Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Jen. Welcome everyone for the new students. I am very happy and delighted to see you today. Maybe I can pull out a bit, like a short presentation to, so you can see who am I as a, as a graphic designer, as a past student from BINUS Northumbria School of Design, and what am I doing right now, and what is my plan for the future. So let's see if I can share my presentation over here. Okay, so yeah, I can see my presentation over there. Cool, cool, cool. Okay, so good morning, everyone. My name is Damba. Yeah. So my name is Damba Permata Sakti Indra, SSN.MA. You can call me Damba by my first name, of course. I am one of BINUS Northumbria School of Design alumni. I graduated in 2017, which means I'm BINUSian 2017. I have just recently returned to Indonesia after I graduated from Coventry University. I managed to graduate from my MA degree in graphic design. However, my S1, my BA, I actually studied graphic interactive design. And then I explored for 4 years and I decided to take graphic design for my MA because I feel like it's something that I really like, something that I want to pursue long term. It really helps me actually when I studied my BA in BINUS, especially during those times where I thought that I would be very interested in graphic interactive design. But after learning it for 4 years, I feel like, nah, I changed my plan. I go to graphic design and that's where I feel like I belong. The reason why I went to England for my MA is because that I received a full scholarship from Respect Dixie. And in present time, I work as a lecturer in BINUS Northumbria School of Design as well. So you might probably going to see me in one of your class. And then I also teach in other university as a part-time lecturer now. Other than that, I am still active in the graphic design industry, creative industry, as a freelance graphic designer. I am currently having 2 clients and one still in progress for the billing. I'm still handling the budgeting and stuff. Other than that, I am also a freelance photographer. While I was in the UK, I was, taking pictures for graduation, doing graphic design presentation for my friends and some colleagues as well to get extra money. So that's a good thing that BINUS taught me, not only graphic design, but also photography. That's pretty much it, I guess, about me. Now let's move on to my portfolio. So I have a special or separate Instagram. It's theambassador.design. You can check out my page, you can follow it. These are pretty much what I have on my page. So this is basically my portfolio as well. Yeah. This is not something that anyone requested. This is pretty much something that I want to do on my free, that I usually do on my free time if I have one. Not so much these days, but I still try to get my ideas out on a screen, out on papers, you know, do some fun stuff, easy stuff, prompt, to simply just, you know, activate my visual mind, you know, looking at references on the internet, reading books, and, you know, apply my skills. So then I would not forget what I can do in terms of, you know, skill stuff. And these are the 3 most likes, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. The first one is a response design from Tokyo Olympics 2020. Obviously, we all know that we won a gold. So I decided to celebrate it. And then it was reposted by lots and lots of Indonesians. Then I was really happy. I get a really good engagement. Then for the one in the middle on here, it's, you know, it's my version of that game on Instagram where you know, like putting question box and then people start to answering your question or what. For instance, on this one, the first thing you notice about me and why, and then your followers will put numbers or simply type in whatever they notice about you first, and then, you know, commenting why and stuff. So I was participated in that when it was very trendy. And then for the next one, I really enjoy creating e-cards, and I also put that on my Instagram. It was really fun to make, and everything in here, I made it from scratch. So I usually sketch it first, or before even sketch it, I did some research, dig in what is the trending, what is trending on the internet right now, what is something that has most likes, and then I follow from that. I follow it up and then simply, you know, do some sketching, try out some fonts, which fonts with typeface, what kind of color that goes along with one another, and then simply play around with that and work around that. Okay, so that's pretty much my Instagram. And next is another portfolio of mine. This is what I did for my master's degree assignments. So the first one is infographics. The task was that I need to create an infographic that is simple, fairly simple, nothing complicated, but it has to be very clear to the audience. Nothing crazy. They don't want us students to put too much text or narration, but we are focusing on the graph and how can we create it in the most efficient. And I think the goal was to create something that is efficient so then people could understand it. And then this is what I came up with. There are some minor revisions, of course. There were criticism, good opinions, and you know, I think I did a revision version of it, but nothing really changed much. So this is pretty much what I have right now. The topic itself is climate change and how the climate change threatened the bird population in America. I did research and tried to translate all the big chunks of narration into this visual language, you know. And this is something that you might probably going to learn, going to create during your time in BINUS Northumbria School of Design. And then the next one over here, the purple one, be kind because you don't know who your next clients are. This is a challenge from Rebel Extinction. it was exhibited in Manchester. So they came to our class one day and then they talked, you know, doing a presentation. It was a massive presentation. It was quite long. And then at the end of the class, they told us that they have a challenge and what we need to do is to create a rule. We can just think of any rules that we want the art school to have. And then obviously in art school, we tend to get really stressed out and burn out easily. So people tend to get bitter sometimes, especially during the final project or final week. So people tend to get bitter. And I think it would be nice if students ought to always be kind. So that's why I chose this words, this narration, this quote. This is simply from my head, really. So I want people to be kind because no one knows who your next clients are. And then it went really well. I got the most votes. And then it turns out one of the most likes as well in the next exhibition in Manchester because, I don't know, like maybe because of the color, the dynamic in it. And then it was really fun experience for me. Other than that, we still have two probably from my portfolio section over here. So this is pretty much what I created for my thesis. Before I actually create this, I did an extensive research on packaging design, on branding design, on pattern, on bees, honey, Indonesian honey to be specific. And then I finally been able to create this batik pattern on my own. So if you're trying to look on the internet to find this batik pattern, then there's none because this is literally what I created with my hand. So every honey has their own, I don't know, like has their own taste, has their own specialty, and why is it expensive, and why this honey is very high quality. It has benefits for medication, basically, this 5 honeys. So these different colors represent the characteristic of the honey as well, because, you know, you will learn later in color theory class that color has their personality, has their own meaning. So then I took that color theory and implemented it into my design. And from this 5 honeys that I have from the packaging itself, if you buy it separately, then the most expensive one is the Sumbawa honey, because of the color itself. Yeah, it's purple, and purple, for instance, it represents wealthy, royalness, and then it also combines with gold over here. So the logo simply is gold. Yeah, I picked gold because the price is a bit on the high range. It's quite a high-end brand, I'd have to say, that pretty much the target market. So I picked gold, and then all the combination over here means something else. And then I put that on my research. And then for the batik pattern itself, it means, it has a real meaning to it because I really put the time to craft it. And so then it has meaning. All the meaning and everything was all inspired by a real batik and how I did the, you know, experimentation, all the exploration was quite long, yeah, and expensive. I tried to find the best narration with the best shape. I did quite a lot of, you know, sketches, experimentation and stuff. So after I, you know, I did 3 months of research, I finally managed to do all these things. Okay, so this is my final thesis project. And then for this one, this is actually for a class. It's graphic design specialism class, yeah. So for this one, this packaging design was fully inspired by Australia's bushfire in 2020. So this huge agencies in England came to my class. They did a presentation, they showcased their portfolios, and it was all amazing and mind-blowing. And then at the end of the class, of course, they gave us a challenge where we could pick whatever news that we see on the Guardian newspaper. And then I picked the Australia's bushfire, and then we have to create something that is inspired from whichever topic that we pick. And then this is what I came up with. These floral patterns were inspired from the a native floral from Australia. And then of course the color represents, you know, the bushfire, it burns and everything. Fire, it's red, it's bright red, because I did my visual research on it. And then I picked the color right from the picture, the photo itself. And then for the shape of it, this one, for instance, the Merlot one, the shape, the curvy shape like this was inspired from the smoke of the fire. And then I simplify it, obviously, and make it symmetrical. And then for this curve over here was inspired from the geographical situation in Australia, and especially in the vineyard area. And then for this one on the back, for the Shiraz one, it's a bit wild over here. Yeah, it's inspired from the forest and of course the fire itself, because it was a crazy wildfire. And then the gold really represent the expensiveness, you know, how much it costs. And then it's pretty much, it's quite expensive, and because it's a bundle of 3, and then someone who wants to buy it needs to buy a subscription, needs to subscribe to the brand itself. It's Fortnum and Mason, and then they could get 3 of them sent right away to their house, because it was somewhat in pandemic. And then and then the money that they get, the Fortnum and Mason get, will be sent and donated to Australia to help them to revive the vineyard area that was burned from the unfortunate tragedy. Other than creating the bottle, I also created the website, so then people could go on their website, subscribe, and then get the product that they want. Oh, other than that, for the bottle itself, why is it that pitch black? Is because the aftermath of bushfire is simply black, like gosong, literally. Okay, and that is why I picked the black bottle, because obviously, as you might know, that wine bottle might sometimes have a green tint or a red tint on their bottle. Even there are some clear glass bottle, but instead I picked the black one to represent all the narratives that happened in Australia bushfire. So that's pretty much it from my portfolio and my presentation today. I think now we could simply ask questions. If you have any question, you can chat. You can put it on the chat, obviously, and then I'll read it out and then I'll try to answer. Yeah, I think we could just simply communicate and have discussion right now? Or should I share my experience while studying in BINUS? What do you guys think? Any answer? I guess I could just simply start with sharing my experience in BINUS, I guess. What do you guys think? Okay, share your experience, chat. Okay, thank you, Alia. So in 2013, ooh, it was a long time ago. Oh my God. So I started studying in BINUS in 2013. It was still in JWC building, the one next to Sensi. Yeah. I had a really fun time, to be honest with you guys, while studying in BINUS. Because BINUS Northumbria School of Design, all the lecturers, all the facility allows me to create whatever that I have on mind. Even though that sometimes maybe I find it difficult to finally put whatever that is on my mind up here. It's quite a mess. If you can see what's on my mind, it's pretty much like a mess. It's full of visuals, keywords, narrative, ideas, and everything. And then once you have to put that on a piece of paper, then you start to struggle sometimes, because you have to simply filter what is the most suitable one. What's the most suitable one for this project? Sometimes it happens, you know. I have art blocks every now and then, up until now sometimes, but then I keep pushing. And then with the help of your lecturers, you are able to start to, you know, learning the theories, think about it thoroughly, and then they will give you some challenges, of course, for you to work on, some tasks. And then you start to generate all the ideas that you have and everything, and then you put it on a piece of paper. They usually ask you, especially Miss Jen, usually ask you to do 100 of sketches. And then sometimes you start to struggle, you know, like, what, 100 of sketches for next week? And I have 6 other assignments. Yeah, it happens. But you have to get through it, because you are going to be trained as if that you are working, and the actual industry, once you get into it, it's somewhat a lot scarier than what you have right now in BINUS. That if, you know, for instance, you have 100 of sketches, and then you start to have a consultation with your lecturers, you can still negotiate which one that you want to develop more, you know. But in real life situation, you don't really have, well, you still have the power actually, because you can discuss it to your clients and stuff, but still the say is within the client's side. So you might probably going to create something that you don't really like. So this is the time to actually explore lots of things, try out new skills, try out new styles before you can actually stick into one. Okay? It's going to be hard. I'm not gonna lie. You're going to stay up all night a lot. There were times where I don't sleep for 4 days straight because I have an animation assignment due on Friday, for instance. Then I have to work on it for 4 days straight to finish it up, you know. In the first semester, you might probably not going to do that often, but I don't know though. I start working really hard from day one. So I stay up all night ever since, you know. I don't sleep before 1 usually while studying, even up until now. So It's gonna be challenging, maybe. I don't know about your sleeping schedule. I don't really know, but you might probably stay up all night. But whatever that you do today, it will definitely help you to get through your future. So I really suggest you to always be serious about everything. Make sure to take your time and plan. If your lecturers told you to do 100 sketches, then please do it, because you really need it, especially that you are in university right now. It's a major that you pick. There's no parents would, ask their children to pursue graphic design. I've never heard of that in my life. They would sometimes question it even. What are you going to do with graphic design? What is the output would be? Because it's something that was not available and it wasn't even an option back then. So then this is your time. This is your prime time. This is your time to shine and show to your parents that you can do lots of things with graphic design. You can be a lecturer like me, or even if you want to be in an agency here or abroad, then you can. The possibilities are endless. It's going to be a fun ride. I'd have to say a fun ride, really fun ride, because that's what I had experienced. What else would it be? You have to be on time while submitting your assignments, your exams. Yeah, I believe that there are some class that needs to be. No, wait. There are some class that might require you to do a writing test as well, like typography, if I'm not mistaken, right, Mitchen?
Yeah.
Yeah, typography. Yeah, there would be an exam in typography where you have to write, or you have to guess what type is that. It would be in a written form. So it's not just about drawing. Like drawing is quite important, but then you have to explore more than just drawing. Obviously, you have to make sure that you are able to use the softwares that you are going to use. You have to master that. You have to keep looking for new tutorials. Obviously, lecturers will give you, some tutorials in class, but then maybe you want to create something that is more specific that the lecturers didn't provide you with. So you have to be creative and find the tutorials so then you can achieve what you want to achieve. And then you have to still read some books, graphic design books. You have to read it. I've done lots of graphic design books. I've read it all. It really helped me to get new perspectives in life, not just in life, but in graphic design and as an individual as well. It's quite fun to have graphic design books, and then you start to apply it into your daily activities, and see how that book has bring you to another chapter of your life. Just amazing. Try to look up some references that would be really helpful. And then once you, for instance, saw one design, good references, try to mimic that style first, so then you can practice. And there will be time where you think that you cannot achieve it while you are doing it, before it's even finished, But then please push yourself further, because that is very important. Push it. There will be the feeling that you are not good enough, obviously. You kept comparing yourself with other graphic designers, other students. It happened. But keep doing what you're doing. You have to finish that design. And then after that, you can decide whether it's good or not. But at least you managed to finish that. Because during my university year in BINUS Northumbria School of Design, there were times where I created something. It wasn't even finished. It was half finished, for instance. And I think it was just really bad. Like, no, it's not working. It's not even finished, but I decided and I feel like it's not working. And I regret every single time that I said that, because imagine if it is finished and it turned out to be good. And it could be viral, for instance. It could get lots of likes, could get good comments, people could be inspired by that. But it happened when you feel like it's not that good, you have a gap between your taste to your skills. But what I want you to do is when that feeling hits you, put it aside, finish it, and then you decide. If it is finished and you don't like it, then it's fine. Well, at least you managed to finish one design for you to practice. So you know which one is good, which one is bad. But make sure to finish your design. If you manage, if we are allowed, for instance, to go back to our normal life and go back to FX to study there, you can go to the library because our library has a variety of design books that could really inspire you. Because according to my experience, finding design books is a bit of a challenge here. But in BINUS, there are lots and lots of books that we have that could help you to do your papers, to inspire you to be. You can put it as a guideline or as a stepping stone to actually or to push yourself through and to create something that you really like. I have some recommendations if you want. Maybe I can type it later and send and ask the lecturers to send it out to you, or maybe in class later when we do the actual class, I can simply share it to you guys. What else? So what else do you guys want to know? Ask me questions.
Don't be afraid to ask. I think Dharma can hear. Could you hear us from there, Dharma? Could you hear me?
Yeah. Yes, Ms. Jen.
You can speak.
Now I cannot hear you clearly.
So please ask. Don't be afraid to ask.
I cannot hear you.
Yeah, I think we are pretty not that close to the microphone. That's why you cannot hear us clearly. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Would you mind to type it out for me on the chat, please? Yeah, if you have any question, everyone, please type it. If you are shy, probably you don't want to speak. No questions from me. Okay. Maybe I could start. Yeah.
Damba or Miss Damba?
Oh, whichever.
Miss Damba.
Okay. Oh, I have there is one question from Savannah. What are your experience with art block? What would you do to find that inspiration back? Okay, speaking about art block, it happens. And you can't really avoid it sometimes. And if you experience that, then take a rest for a bit. Walk around, try to get yourself a cup of tea, a cup of coffee, rest. your body, your mind for a second. 15 minutes will do. And then after that, try to look back to whatever that you're doing and try to analyze. Try to analyze that, what you can do with that. And if you can't really seem to point out, then you can go to the internet, find some inspiration, and then, you know, push yourself a bit and try to incorporate what you like, the reference that you find on the internet, something that you like, try to incorporate that to your work. That could also help. And then if you still can't do much, try to do something else first. Maybe you need a break, because we cannot just push ourselves too much as well. So there needs to be a balance, but you cannot just simply not doing anything, you know? You have to still try doing something to minimize the art block by, you know, taking a break, short break, eat food, get some snacks, chill for a bit, and then go back. If you still can't do it, then maybe you are just too tired to do things. And then give yourself a break, do meditation, something like that. It usually helps. So you have to be mindful to yourself as well. I know that it would be time consuming, but it's gonna be good for your body and mental health as well. And then I'd have to say that doing sketches could also work. Yeah, when you're in art block, just doodle something really, and then see. Once you're done, yeah, let's go back to that sketches and see. Maybe you can use whatever that you have on your doodles and then incorporate that to your design. Or you can, for instance, me right now, I'm no longer studying, currently not studying in an internship, but in university, but I kept, you know, pushing myself to learn new things every day. I have this book, I have 2 books that has prompts inside it. And then if I feel like, oh my God, art block, okay, I'll try to randomly open that book and then do whatever that the book says. It really helps me to activate my creativity back to normal. I'll share the link of the book later or next week. Don't worry about it. I'll share whatever I have with you guys, and hopefully it works for you as well. Okay, so that's Savannah. And then Aliyah, what if you have trouble trying to find how you can best express? You can simply do brainstorming. Yeah, you know, brainstorming, for instance, you have a task to create something related to mental health, for instance. And then you have an idea over here, but you cannot simply say it or writing it down. It happened with me as well. You understand what you want to create, but you don't know how to say it out loud. You don't know how to express it through words or visual. Doodle it and work your way around it. Pull out some papers, try to write it down, ideas, and then eventually you will be able to put those information that you have on your paper into a sentence. Yeah, because sometimes you understand what you want to do. It happened with me as well, especially when I was in England. I mean, the possibilities are endless for graphic design. You can do whatever you want to do. You can use whatever approach that you want, but then it needs to be reasonable for everyone to simply understand it. It needs to be straightforward, and it has special meaning, good anecdotes and stuff, and you simply can't express it. Then that's the thing that I did. I did a consultation. I can't seem to find the word that I'm looking for. And then I asked my lecturers, okay, I need to take a break. I need to sit in silence and write some stuff first. Okay, I'll get back to you. And then that's what I did. I write things that might help me and then I try to pull out keywords from my head while trying to think of that specific word that could hit home for the explanation that I have. Then, you know, write it down. I did some sketches and stuff. And then it really helped me to finally, you know, put that words, scrambled words into a narration, into a sentence, and then go back to my lectures and, you know, like explain it from the start. And I think that could be really helpful for you to help yourself to express what you want to express, because sometimes we don't really have the vocabulary just yet to explain it to the audience. Even, I mean, obviously we might have, you know, some obstacles in terms of English, but it really happened too, even though that you think you try to express it in Bahasa Indonesia. Like you understand, but you can't really seem to get it right, to get the explanation concise enough or convincing enough. It happened. So just keep practicing with all the brainstorming stuff. It really helps. Thank you, Alia. Have you ever felt unconfident with your work and scared of how other people will judge it? How did you overcome that feeling? Okay, thank you so much, Rika, for the question. Of course, I have felt unconfident with my work, especially during my first year, because I've never really taken art seriously in school. I know that I love art, like drawing and stuff. I did some after school activity as well when I was younger. But then once you are in an art school, then everyone is doing the same thing. And there are some students who are doing things better than you are. And it made me unconfident, but I just simply kept doing my best and keep practicing, never miss any deadlines. Now that I think about it, yeah, Dika, I've never, well, I have always been somewhat confident about it, but I know that there would be other students that might probably done it better than me. And how did I overcome it? Is simply telling myself that this is the best that you can do now, and you will definitely have time to practice even more, so then you could achieve whatever you have in your mind, and you could achieve the actual taste or style that you want to achieve in the future. Because at that time, I have skill limitations, and you know, visual references is not as rapid as it is today. So it was quite a tough time to actually find a really good, or something that a really good graphic design references, or something that I really like in terms of style. So I was just simply keep practicing, and if it turns out to be bad, then I would just laugh it off and do better next time, you know. But still, what we see as a lecturer, now that I could understand this, is not only how good it is, but how the process is. How could you evolve from the very basic, from the first semester, you did things, and then we start to see what you're doing. And then we would like to also see the progress and how you manage to evolve as a graphic designer, a graphic design student. So if you felt unconfident and you are scared of how other people will judge it, then don't. And the only person who can tell you that is yourself, because we are all here in class, especially you guys, new students, you guys are learning. And we all have different starting points. There are some students that have more skills than you are, and that's okay. Then you can learn from them. Or if you see that, oh, that artwork is not your style and you're afraid that people would judge you the same way, then please don't be scared. At the end of the day, what matters is your voice inside your head. Because people can say bad things, good things. It doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter. As long as you are happy doing it, as long as you keep trying your best, as long as you keep finding new tutorials, active, asking questions, read books, do sketches well, put your heart out to whatever that you're doing, then we as a lecturers can see it that as well. How serious you are, it really helps you. So don't be afraid for people to judge your graphic design, your work. You don't think about it, because they will eventually judge it and we cannot stop them from judging it. So live your life happily. So yeah, so that's what I tell myself to do. I know it might be very easy for me to say that, but I really feel you guys. I was that unconfident student because I've seen my friends doing all this cool stuff and I can't do it. I have limitations in terms of skill. Oh my goodness, she can do this with Adobe Illustration. How she could do that? But then, okay, I can just type it in, look on the internet, open YouTube and follow it through. And then boom, the next day, yo, I can do this too. And then we start, like celebrating that I can do that. Oh, don't forget to celebrate your small achievements. You will do things happily if you do that. Okay. For instance, I supposed to do 100 sketches. And then for today, I must do at least 3 sketches. Not much, because obviously you have other works as well. And then after you finish 3, push it a bit. Maybe I can do 4. And then you start drawing it. And maybe I could do 5. Then start doing it. And then boom, target achieved. And you have 2 extras, which is good. And then celebrate it. Have a 5 minutes of happy dancing. Do whatever you want. Celebrate. Yay, I did it. And then rest for another 5 minutes. And then start doing your work again. So that's pretty much what I do to boost up my confidence as well. And I simply listen to others' opinion, feedbacks as well. But after that, you have to filter that in, because not everyone knows what they're talking about. Yeah, especially those people, for instance, that you post something on the internet, you have, bad comments or whatever. You can read it. And if you think that, oh, this is actually a good critic or a good criticism, then you can start to pull out the positive, the negative input and convert it as a positive input for you to do better. But if you think that, nah, this is just a really bad comment, doesn't really help me to improve my work, for instance, then shoo, delete that comment. but I know sometimes we get overwhelmed. We've done our best, but then still have bad comments. Then, take a break from that negativity, do something else, and then go back the next day with a positive attitude, with a happy thought. Any other questions before I can move on to the next slide that I have for you?
Any questions? No? It's pretty clear.
If there's no more question in this section, then I could go ahead and share something. Sorry, I pressed the wrong button. Hang on.
Take your time, Madam.
Thank you, Miss. If you still have any question you want to ask me, go ahead. Or Miss Jane, Sir M, if you want to ask me a question, that would be helpful. Okay, so everyone can see my desktop, I guess. Yeah. Okay, so I have some projects over here under the freelance circle. I would like to show you something that I've been working on with my clients. And this is something that you would do as well as a student. So I learned this while studying in BINUS Northumbria School of Design. And this is actually what I do to communicate and to help me to express to my clients. So for instance, this is a brand, the brand called Hani Nisa. It's a hijab brand. And then she asked me to do her branding, and now we're started doing a packaging as well. So she came back to me for packaging project, which is good. She was very happy with the result. She loved it. She is Indonesian, but she is in Scotland. So I'm a bit, so happy about it because she lives in Scotland and her target market is Muslim in England, basically all over England, yeah. So the first thing that you're going to do while doing a project, whether it's an assignment or even clients like this, is that you must be able to translate their narration, things that they want you to transform it into a visual. And how is that then? Let me show you. Okay, so the first thing that you are going to do, like the very first step, is that you're going to have a phone call with them, usually video chat, whatever. Make sure it's verbal, that you can speak with them. And then after that, you have to pull out your notebook, and then you have to make notes on some keywords, some important information that they informed you through the phone, and then make notes on that. And then after that, you can compile it and into a better, I usually put it on Word, really, just type it in. So it's not too messy because I really have bad handwriting. After that, you create a mood board. Okay, so you're doing a mood boarding where you are pulling out, picking or choosing visual references for your clients. So then they could pick the style, they could pick the color, they could see your vision as well. So you are basically transforming their vision and then put that vision into a visual that you can later discuss on. So for instance, for Hani Nisa over here, she wants me to do her branding. So it includes logo, primary logo, logo mark, and then she wanted me to do social media as well for the template, photo preset as well. So this one in particular is for her, you know, her logo type. So I pull up this that she might like based on her narration. And then I pull up some, you know, inspiration, not too different from one another. She told me that she wants the logo to be a logo type. So a logo just with types on it without any visual or anything. So it's quite simple, nothing crazy. And she wants it to be sleek and clean. So then these are what I came up with. She was somewhat towards this one, the mirror one, if you can see. But then she doesn't like the idea of having a stack logo like this. So I told her, or maybe we can just pull it and move the ROR to the next, to like in one line with the MIR. She likes this one, you know, the idea of the ligature, but she suddenly, no, just scratch that. And then she was towards this one, Casanova. She liked the swash. She liked the thick and thin, you know, she likes the feeling of it, but then she doesn't like the star. So I need to make sure that I take notes on it and cross out the star. And then I ask, how about the others? Do you want me to use different typefaces, different fonts or anything? And then she says, no. Okay, cool. And then we move on to the color mood board. So in branding, color can also be very important. Yeah, so then when people see certain color combination, then they could simply perceive it as one brand. And she told me that she wants the brand to be feminine, elegant, and cute. I think that was the, yeah, and then cute, she said. And then, okay, do you like pink? I said, and then she said, yes, I like pink. I like yellow and orange. Okay, then warm tone it is. And I put warm tones, everything over here, just a bunch of pink tones, pink shades, bit of, you know, orange, yellow and stuff. And then she picked around 3 colors from this mood board. Yeah, so the color, you can simply pick whatever picture that you find on the internet based on whatever your client likes or whatever you have vision on your mind. This is the foundation, basically, the foundation color. And you can actually pick this color as the inspiration. And then you use your color picker tool on Adobe Illustration, then you can have the color. Yeah, so this one is from lipsticks. Yeah, this is from wallpapers. This is fabric. And this is just a random illustration that I found. Another, you know, swoosh patterns. And then you can simply pick the color that she likes. After she picks the colors, and then we go ahead to the style mood board. So then which direction that are we going to pursue? Which one that she likes? Because that is very important as well. She could pick whichever, yeah? And then you start to create your own style. Still, you have to make it original, but inspired from whichever style that she picked. So in this case, she picked this one, the Kendall Jenner one, yeah. And then she also picked this one. And then this one as well, the one on the bottom right. So this 3 was the main inspiration. Okay, so after that phone call, I start doing the work myself. And I was actually focusing on the logo first, because that would be the most important element that would really help the brand to shine bright like a diamond, you know, amongst other brands. And then let's see what I have here. Okay, hopefully you can see this. Yes. Hang on. Can I move it? No? Yes. Okay. Okay, so after that, I move on with this. Yeah. With this process, yeah, while doing the logo. So I was playing around with the colors. So this is the color that I picked for her. And then, so she picked this one, and this one. And then I have to add 3 more colors. Yeah, the neutral one, the cute one, you know, to represent the cuteness. And then for the accent color. So these are the colors that I have for this brand. And then next, I played around, tried to pick fonts that could help represent the brand. These are the first initial ideas. Yeah, first initial ideas. This is the font yeah, that I picked. It has some serif in it. So it's a serif font that I picked to visually explain that this brand is elegant, it's feminine because of this decorative element on the font itself. It has some ligatures. And then I played around with my, it's a bit of combination of custom type and the finished type typefaces that I have on my computers. And then I kept playing around using all the variety of ligatures and stuff and see which one that I like the most. And then she actually liked this one, the S, at first. But then once she saw this H with the slash, she somehow likes that even more. So I tried to, you know, do more exploration, and then it came up with this one. So simple. Yeah, so the H still have slash. Yeah, and then the N has the slash as well, similar to the Casanova one. But then obviously we have to create it to make sure that it's still original, even though that it is inspired by other people's final product. Then, you know, I play around with this, but it doesn't seem to work well. You know, just simply playing around with the N, with the slash, because I want the logo mark to be H and N. So I must put the emphasis on the H and also N. And then we finally decide to go and explore and develop even more with this style. Yeah, and then we start doing the logo mark exploration as well. And then this is what I came up with. So this is the final product of this brand. This is the logo mark and the primary logo. She decided to change the color last minute because that's just how client works, right? Simply communicate them at the beginning if we are, you know, progressing good, we're doing everything really well, and suddenly the client wants to change one thing or two, adding more revision, then you have to charge a certain amount of money. And if she or he said yes, then you can charge it and communicate that while doing whatever revision. Yeah. So she asked me to do a revision, and then this is what the color that she picked. Not that she picked, I picked it for her, but then she agrees to use this color instead of the first one, which was this one. Yeah. She changed the narration a bit. Target market changed slightly, and obviously it will affect the color scheme as well. So we came up with this one. And then I would like to show the final presentation that I showed her. Yeah, so this is the final product of Hani Nisa branding. So this is the logo mark. This is logo mark, yeah. Primary logo, and then the color scheme. So this is logo mark and primary logo. This is the mock-up. So as if it's on the tag, then it would look something like this. I put another empty space over here. So if she wants to add more information or icons or some sort, then she can. And then this is the code, the color code for each color. So then the color could be maintained, even though that she maybe created something, for instance, the social media post by herself. So she knows the color exactly, and then she can maintain the consistency of the color. And then I also created the Instagram feed template. So this is something that you might need to do. I chose the fonts combination and then put the logos as if it's a real thing already, you know, picking photos that is related to the brand, you know, putting product names here, CTA, very important. And then if she wants to add quotes on their feed, it would, and it must look like this. And then for carousel, she could do this. So this one especially inspired from the Kendall Jenner, if you guys still remember about the Kendall Jenner. And then there are some photos, pictures with black borders. This is the final outlook of what I created. This is heavily inspired by that, but obviously we have to make it our own, make it original. And it goes like this, logo, and then product names, explanation and stuff. And then another picture for carousel, like the, you know, and then this one is another template for the Instagram feed. If there is sales, then it has to look like this with a swoosh, you know, maintaining the swoosh on the logo. Yeah. And then there's a logo mark over here. And then this is for the sale period time. And then the pictures, and then obviously the admin should, you know, make this photos link to the website. And then for the Insta story template, you know, pictures, and then there's graphic elements to emphasize if there's any discount or whatever, and then showcasing products, you know, putting website here, or if they could swipe up, not really swipe up anymore, but links obviously in here, and then showcasing products, new product probably over here. And then, you know, fit plan, they need to follow these rules. So there's design and photos. So there would be a pattern when people or new followers, new potential followers look up on their page, have a look on it, it would look tidy, neat, clean, and well organized. Next, the typography. So for a headline or title, it needs to be in auto serif, italic, and then the rest you can fade it out. It is very, you know, technical. And then I also put font size guideline for digital and print displays, because the owner has nothing or no background or whatsoever related to graphic design. And it is actually a perfect client for me because she simply, you know, follow what I said, you know, even though that she might also have ideas and questions, maybe some other, you know, critics, opinions that I could follow them. Of course, I have to follow what her request, but then I can help her to, you know, explain about the technical aspect and why it needs to be like this, it needs to be like that, because she simply has no, you know, knowledge on that. So she really trusted me. I mean, I obviously want to create something that I'm proud of and what she likes. So then we combine both of our minds together and it become like this, right? So that pretty much the process of your work, whatever work that you're doing. For instance, you are interested in UI or UX, animation in some sort, it would look somewhat like this. You will start with mood boards, brainstorming, pulling out ideas, narration. You have to type things down. And then even after you finish your work, you have done your visuals and everything, you have to write rationale for your lectures to check whether your ideas is aligned with whatever that you have on visual. We have to check on that as well. Yeah, so there would be quite a balance between doing visuals and artistic stuff, and also some writing stuff, because you have to explain things through writing as well. So then we can read it out, we can check whether it's aligned or not, the idea is good or not, how did you manage to develop the idea, how extensive it is, and how complex the idea, and how well you put that on visual. So that is the behind the scenes from a project until it becomes like this. So this is the finished look of a logo mark. And then for the delivery process, me personally, I use, you know, Google Drive. Basically, I pull out the PNGs, the PDFs, and then put everything in a separate file, you know, and then she can pull out easily from the G Drive and then use it for whichever purpose that she has. And then she is the one who would go to the print shop. Yeah, this is what I provide. And then she, for instance, she wants to do the tag. I can help her with the shape. Yeah, but then it's her call whether she wants to print it now, later, in which print shop, it's her call. So that's pretty much it. And even after this, I'm going to have a call with Honey. Her name is Honey, this brand, the owner of this brand. And then she wants me to help her to learn on how to do all this stuff over here. Yeah, how she can put pictures in this shape, inside this shape, and how many what is it, pages or Instagram feed that she needs to do in a week, what would be the hashtag. So after simply creating the visual, you can actually help them to create the strategy as well. Yeah, so me as a graphic designer, I have evolved myself into digital communication strategies as well, because after I finished my study in BINUS, I work in a cafe and I work as a graphic designer, plus a digital communication manager. So I have the ability to, you know, to help a brand to plan their strategy as well, social media strategies to be specific. So that's me. That's me. That's what I do for a living other than teaching. Okay, other than that, like doing branding and stuff, I also do some illustration as well. I have some projects. This was my first project for illustration after I go back to Indonesia, after I return. It's pretty cute actually for, yeah, it's for an event. Oh no, how do I showcase it? Yeah, okay. So it's basically a hamper with full of goodies, you know. So I created the, hang on. So I create this key change stuff, you know, with the names, with his birthday, this thing over here. This is all my illustration created with, I use Procreate for this, for artworking illustration. I use Procreate, not so much with Adobe Photoshop. Next is this one. Yeah, this is a reusable bag. And then this small little cute embroidery over here is also created from my illustration. So this is the box for the hamper itself, all created by yours truly. And then this is when they display it on the event, on the D-Day. Yeah. So this is what I created, the boxes and everything. Just the boxes, actually, the boxes and what's inside the boxes. And then we collaborated with other vendors. And then it looks like this, which is so cute. I really love how it turned out. It's just too cute. So this is what's inside the box, the hamper. There's a tumbler. This one is the disinfectant spray. This is, I'm not really sure what this one is. I kind of forget, sorry. But this one is a reusable bag. So these are pretty much the detail. So I did that, and I worked with this, you know, vendor. I collaborated with the vendor every now and then. Now I have worked for 3 clients of theirs, and this is the last project that I did with them. So this is a hamper for Sangjit. Yeah. So there you go. Yeah, so it's just a small box. I created the illustration over here with the flowers, blue and red flowers with the J's, their initials. And then these are the final product of the box itself. I was only creating this part, yeah, just the illustration. And then this initials with all the flowers, cute flowers, love it. And so that's the overall look. And then another small project is this one. It's very cute, simple illustration, small one. For birthday, I believe. Yeah, this is a disinfectant, and then you know, foldable bag, reusable bag. So I think that is what I have for today. If you have any more questions, I would love to answer it. Marata, so cool. Thank you. Is there any more questions? Miss Yen, Sir M, any questions for me?
Keep going, Damba. Thanks. So you guys, you wanna have something? You wanna have something close to Damba? You may go ahead to say something. So don't be too formal. You can have discussion with Damba if you like. So Damba can share you what has she done in the past while studying at this campus. So she can share you anything related to your project if you like. She used to be my grade student in Bahasa, so she was studying in IDM, as she did mention about it. So she was studying in graphic design, but she did alter for her master in graphic design. That's maybe you can have a good experience from her on the thing that she has done in the past. Yeah. So you may ask anything related to the project, maybe the workload in the class, or maybe anything that you can learn from her. Yeah. From her experience, and it will be good for your motivation for your future. So please, if you are discussing Damba, you may go ahead. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Damba, keep going.
Okay. Okay. Alonso, not at all from me at least. Okay. No question from Alonso. Savannah, great portfolio, Kak. Thank you so much. So maybe what I could share next is that, yeah, do not limit yourself. Yeah, do not limit yourself. If you have certain style or already, yeah, for instance, keep exploring. Do something different than your usual style could really help you just to see, you know, just to see if you like it or not. Because sometimes if you've never really tried it and you don't really know whether you like it or not, explore more in terms of visuals. Think, you know, it's very cliche for me to say think outside the box because everyone has different box anyway. Simply try to connect the dots, you know, try to synthesize ideas, challenge yourself. But you have to make sure that you know when to challenge yourself and when to play safe, you know, because at the end of the day, you need to get a good score for you to keep going in this school, right? I mean, obviously, I encourage you to be experiment. You need to do some experimentations and then look up for new theories and then try to combine that to create something that is really cool, something functional, something that could be helpful for the society, maybe if that's the goal, to spread awareness. If that's the goal, then that would be awesome. But then make sure that you can create it, whatever that you're going to create, in the most professional, the most professional, not really actually, wait, hang on. At least the best as you can, you know, it doesn't have to be look professional. If you can to push yourself to that point, then that is amazing. You might probably get a really good score. And how to create something that looks professional by maybe putting that, whatever that you have, yeah, into a mock-up, you know. So when you see my logos on a tag, that tag was not an actual tag that I print, that I took pictures of. Just a simple blank tag, and then I put my logos on top of it. And that would look professional and it looks realistic because of, you know, I manipulate that as if it is real, and that looks professional. And that could be something that you do when you're doing your submission, then it will look professional and it look more realistic. So then your lecturers could see it in the as if that it is in the actual environment. Okay. Okay, Ms. Mita, I have a question. Do you think to have a good skill in drawing and illustration is a mandatory to be a good visual communication designer? Okay. This is something that is very controversial, to be honest, Ms. Mita, because it has been a debate whether a graphic designer needs to be really good in drawings or illustration. And for me, myself, if you can draw and if you can do illustration, your life would be so much easier.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
Right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, exactly.
But if you cannot achieve a certain level of drawing or illustration, it's fine. Because according to my experience, graphic design is not necessarily or not equal as drawing or illustration. Yeah.
Yes.
It's a different branch, actually. So drawing and illustration come from fine art branch, but design is design. It's different. It's from communication. But then during the application, it tends to be together. So the graphic design part is there, and then to create a more compelling design, we put illustration or drawing together so the audience could get a clearer vision, clearer ideas on what the product is all about or the information is all about. But then, does it have to be good? If you can be that good, then it would be amazing. Your life would be easier. You can simply think about an idea. Okay, I need to draw this thing, and then I could lay out it like this and that. And then you can just do it right away because you don't need other people to do the drawing for you. Yeah. But if you guys, if any students saying that I'm not really that good at drawing or illustration, I'm not really into it, it's okay. But what is the most important thing? That you try that first before you decide you like it or not. Because sometimes there are some unleashed capabilities, unleashed potential in yourself that hasn't been discovered because you have not tried it. Me personally, if you're speaking about drawing something realistic, I'm dead. I can't do it.
Me too.
Right?
Same thing, yeah.
I can't draw hands. I mean, I get B+ on drawing, and that's the very best that I can get. Well, I was aiming A because I love drawing since I was a little kid, but apparently drawing hands and horses are way more, way harder than what I usually do. I mean, I'm okay with illustrations because obviously we have a variation of styles and we can play around, make it more childish looking, more elegant looking, lots of manipulation that I can do in illustration. But drawing itself, not really good at it, but then I can manage to do something else. I can manipulate a picture to look like a realistic drawing. And you must be able to work your way around it to achieve a certain look. And even in master's degree level, graphic design and illustration is still in the same building, art and humanity faculty, still the same, but then illustration is merged with animation and graphic design is separated from that.
Yeah. That's happened. Yeah, I know, Miss Damba, because I usually, when student ask that we have to be a good illustration, do we have to have a perfect illustrated to be visual communication designer. Then I said no, because I cannot drawing I mean something like really natural,
realistic,
right? But I believe everybody can do drawing actually, just depend how they look the object, how they have the style, Usually everybody has their own style, but the most important is how the visual can communicate with others, right? That's it. Okay.
Exactly. And then don't worry, guys, if you so for first semester you will get drawing 1 class, and it would be wait, I need to dig into my memory a little bit. You're going to learn
drawing
about
1
perspective. Drawing 1 perspective, and then it would be still life composition and stuff like that. Doing some shading, so it's very technical. Do the best as you can, right? That is a must for you to to achieve whatever that you want to achieve. Push yourself a bit more every day. But if you somehow, after that class, after drawing 1, drawing 2, you feel like you don't really into it, then you can just move on to the next class without really thinking about drawings, But still, you need to sketch. At least your sketches or your not so good drawing can express an idea, can help other people to understand more about a message. You can obviously pick whatever style that you want to pick that is complementing the overall look of the design itself, then it should be good. Because my drawing 1 and 2 only get B+. And it doesn't stop me from doing other things. But if you can get A, good for you.
I mean, it's okay though, if you cannot draw, just things that you want to improve your skill, by doing, and then come to the class and then do whatever you have to do, because they're gonna, what do you call that? They're gonna, improve your skill actually. When you practice more, then you're gonna know how to improve yourself then.
We as a lecturer really want you to do your best. We sometimes can see the actual potential that you might have not been able to see at first, but we, try to guide you through it and then give our opinion. And then you are the one who needs to decide, still, you are the one who needs to decide whether this design or this drawing going to in which direction still, but we tend to give you more doors for you, or more windows for you to see, to look around, and then maybe from the resource that we give you, things could spark and something could really interest you in some sort. You can change your style every now and then, because you are right now in an art school, you have to explore lots of things. I believe that. Is there any other questions?
Anyone want to know about the class, about whatever you want to know? Because I know that art or design is kind of a different way to learn, right? It's not exactly like the mathematics, like the math, like the economic, or they have design or art has a different way to learn. You have to be tough, more exercise, then you cannot do your work just in one night, right?
You cannot do that.
You have to what do you call it, Damba? You have to try to finish your work step by step, right? If you have just said that your lecturer give you 2 weeks to finish your project, but you cannot do in the last minute. Yeah, you need to because design or art needs process, right? Yeah, and in the process there is some, what do you call that? Some, what do you call that number? If you do like, yeah, if you, I said that when you do your project, we need the process. You cannot do it in one night. Yeah. So that's why you have to consultation to your lecturer. If the idea is good or the idea is already in the right track or something like that. Yeah. Then don't give up too easily, right?
You have to be really tough, everyone. Do not step back too easily. You know, do not give up too easily, because the competition is real, especially when you have graduated. There's a lot of design graduates around you, around me in Indonesia, even in BINUS. Miss Mita.
Yeah, right.
You know, graphic design graduates are at least 1,000 every graduation.
Right.
So
yeah.
So the competition is real. Make sure that you do your best in everything. You know, keep doing what you like, because you know it's going to be worth it. It's going to be worth it.
Yeah. So as long as you enjoy and then you have a good passion on graphic design, so everything will be fine, I think. Yeah.
Be patient with yourself as well.
Right.
If you haven't been able to achieve whatever design taste that you currently have, it needs time for you to finally be able to showcase your portfolio and be proud of it. It took me, I don't know, like 7 years to finally be able to do all these things, have clients. I have full slots right now for clients. There are some clients, potential clients that is on the queue, and it has never happened before. After I finished my MA, my F2, and then I finally and then I finally can hit the ground and running, and it takes time. Yeah. So be patient as well with yourself.
Yes. Be patient, but also keep trying and trying.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a must. Keep trying.
Yeah.
You have to work hard for your dream life.
Right. Okay. Any more questions? No. I think they don't have any clue yet. About how in the class. But actually, the classes must be fun. As long as you like design that much. Hopefully, if you choose, when you choose the graphic design, it doesn't mean what do you call that? Doesn't mean that I choose graphic design because I don't like math, because I don't like what do you call it? Physical, something like that. Chemical or something like that. No. Every knowledge have their own way, and they are all tough. So also to be designer is also tough. If you see the project, if you see the things, it looks glamour, right? But behind of that, you need to work hard, very hard. Yes. Okay. Jane, Miss Jane, Sir M. Yes, there's a student said there's no questions. Do you have any whatever you want to say?
That's already mentioned by Damba, especially for the time management, Damba.
Yes, correct.
You can share about time management as well, because this is the most difficult thing. Mostly students having problem with that. If possible, how do you think the students will be able to, deal with the project mostly at the same time, especially with different subjects, and they have to submit within very strict view? Is there any advice for them?
Okay, so for time management itself, while in class, I mean, I've been working in BINUS as a teaching assistant, now as a lecturer for about 7 years now. So I know how I worked back then when I was a student. I know how students usually work, and they tend to get, they tend to struggle with time management. So especially in this time where things are so uncertain, make sure that you are actually doing your work during the class as well. Because I remember when I was in class back then, in 2013 until 2017, there are days where I came to the class and I hang out with friends, and that would be something that I would love to change. When I'm in class, do the things that you can do. Yeah, you can do your sketches as much as you can. You can do, you can obviously talk to your friends, but it needs to be design related. So then you can do better on your work. Then at home, you can continue doing what you're doing. And then for me personally, I usually set the time this way. So from 1 o'clock until 3, I have to do drawing, for instance, drawing 1. Okay, I'll do that from 1 until 3. After that, I take a break, 15-minute break, and then I start doing another project right away after the break. Yeah, and that way, that really helps me to maintain and manage my time wisely. And then after around Maghrib, I take a break. Members, around 8, I start working again till late at night. Usually with friends, while video chatting, still doing works and stuff. And then around 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, I go to sleep. And it goes like that for years, basically. So manage your time wisely. Maybe make to-do lists. It really helps. Yeah, create a to-do list. It's really helpful for you. To then you will not forget what you need to do next. You will not skip any, task or daily goals that you have. And then make sure that you balance between the socialize with friends or family members while maybe doing your work. Then take some rest as well. 15 minutes, 20 minutes, a little longer for dinner, of course, because you have to socialize with your family members as well. And that's pretty much that I do. Even right now, I'm still doing that. Having to-do lists really helped me. Just write it in on Post-it would really help. If you have, to-do list on your phone, on your laptop, that would be awesome as well. I even created my own template of to-do list. If you want to check it out, go to my Instagram at theambassador.design. You can screenshot it and then use it however you want it. So that's pretty much how I manage my time. Even right now, currently, I'm teaching around 7 classes, 2 classes from BINUS and 5 other classes from other universities. And then I managed to do 2 clients projects and 1 day for, rest. So it's a bit packed for me this semester. Usually I have calls from clients as well. So then I usually simply said, okay, 1 o'clock until 2, we can talk. I can teach you this and this. I'm going to deliver you this and this and this, and then we can talk after 3. And then I have to hang up because I'm going to do another work as well. So you have to be strict on your time as well, because you can't go back in time and regret things, and you don't want that. Okay.
Thank you for the suggestion. Yeah, time management is I think one of the most important things. Yeah, when you have the I know like every class, I believe, will give you a lot of projects. Yeah. So that's why you have to manage maybe Monday at 8 and until here, then you have to do this, and then you have like 9 or 10, you have to do that. Yeah, you have to manage yourself. Okay, but don't forget to have a fun also. Yeah, like yeah, like just Miss Damba said that play with your friends. Yeah, hang out with your family. That's also you have to do that. Yeah. Okay. Any more questions, Miss Sir?
Yeah, I think that's all for me. Yeah. Thanks.
Okay. Miss Najma direct messaged me.
Yeah.
She said, before we end the the Zoom, can we please take pictures?
Sure.
Yes. If there's no more questions, maybe what shall we do?
Yeah.
We want everyone to be on cam, please.
Please, can everyone turn on their cameras?
Yeah, turn the cameras on, please, and have a picture together.
We're gonna take a picture.
Najma can help us to take pictures. Make sure you count. Because I don't want to close my eyes while taking pictures.
Okay,
so there are 2 slides. Can you please take pictures from the first slide first? Right, everyone, smile.
Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Bruh.
Second slide.
Okay, second slide. Smile, everyone.
3, 2, 1.
Bruh.
Thank you.
What does that sound, bruh?
Thanks, Damba.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Damba, for
happy
helping
to
us.
be here.
Thank you.
Of course.
Bye-bye.